Good night, everybody, because it is night here. Um, it is probably late back home, but I wanted to jump on and give a word because I felt like something was trying to be birthed. So I had to come on live and give everybody um, what they needed. Hold on, I'm sharing this to my Facebook page because I have a few watchers on Facebook. Haven't made it to YouTube yet, but we gonna pray on that, right? I'm trying to make sure I'm doing everything right. Okay. So now we're gonna um did it do it? Okay, it did it. I had to wait. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Um I do want to let you know I am dressed like this because we had uh African Day, African Wear Day at church. And this is one of the last dashikis that I purchased um, where I was living before I'm in my new space. And I pulled out an oldie but goodie. I fell in love with this piece of jewelry because of what it says right here, and it says "fearless." And when I was a kid, I went, I think it was, I won it at the fair, and it is a picture of Tweety Bird in the hands of Sylvester. And he's like, and it also said fearless. And so that's what it brought me back to because one, we should not be living in fear. We should always let everybody know that we're going to not be fearless in the things that we do, right? But that's not what I get up here for. I got up here to talk about your experience, the experiences, and altering the experiences. But first, I'm feeling led to do this to give you an example. I was humming this. I hummed it a little bit a few seconds ago. Um, it's just a sound, a musical sound that I'm just hearing in my spirit, feeling in my spirit, experiencing in my spirit. So I want to share it with you before I get into the message because it all will relate. And there's no words for right now. So if words come out, just know that it's God given, spirit given at this time for you, the watcher. Hey, 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 yes, yes. Yes, yeah, yeah. Is what you've been praying for. Is what you've been hoping for. Is what you've been dreaming of. Yes, it is for you. Yes, I have provided the door. All you have to do is walk right through. Walk right on through. Walk right on through. Here's something so special. Here's something so wonderful. Here's something so magnificent you cannot refuse. You must go through. Please just hear the words and do. So I felt like words were going to come through. So I just wanted to hum it out. I don't remember what I said. It's one of those moments. I really don't. I really don't remember. I can give you a cliff note of sorts of what I just sang, but I really can't remember. So I'm gonna have to rewatch this. But I said that because it's for somebody out there. Because when we're dealing with and talking about and your experience, right? Don't alternate from what is being given to you. So one of the things is that when God gives us directions, we're supposed to follow them. Um, how He said to do it, when He said to do it, the way it should be done. If it's supposed to be leavened bread, please, it's supposed to be leavened bread. If it's not leavened bread, just throw some flour and some water, and bam, you have your old school communion crackers. My grandmother used to make it, so I know how it's being made. But there is not but there are circumstances for which we alter our experiences based off of our fears and our needs. And God is like, no, that's not what I told you to do. Um, I had like so many different things going across my mind on the way here to this space. And I always ask God whenever God, Spirit, Jesus, the man upstairs, whoever you want to call it, the mother, because some people do call God mother, right? Whenever I start to get a download, I have to decipher what is the word that you would have, that Spirit would have me to say. Because sometimes, like in this period right now, there's a multitude of words, and I have to sit and wait, which is a part of the process that we all go through, is this process of sitting and waiting. And it's to to tune up our ears to hear when God actually says to move, because you don't want to move beforehand and you don't want to move too late. You want to move right on time. And so earlier, and a pause, tab, however you want to call it, that also means that you have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body to let you know when you need rest, when you need food, when you need water, when you need to de-stress. And you can't push these things off because you are literally being used as an instrument. And if anybody knows anything about a stringed instrument, guitar, violin, viola, cello, uh, I'm not going to act like I know all of them, but I was in band, so I do know these instruments. The harp, even if it's out of tune, you can't perform. That instrument cannot perform at its best. If the string has popped, it must be replaced to get its best quality, to get its best sound, and that's what God is saying to you when your body is going through some things. Is I want you at your best quality for what I'm trying to give, for what I'm trying to do through you. And I need you to be at your best. And you can't be at your best and do what I need you to do if you're without rest. So I did take a rest, which is another reason why I'm recording this so late. However, I am now able to give you what I need to give you at my best, right? Um, so going back, so after you get the word and you sit and wait for a while after you get everything aligned and in tune with what God is trying to do through you, then you're able to move. But when God tells you to move, you can't alter the plans because you feel uncomfortable. You have to do exactly what He tells you to do. And even if a opportunity presents itself for you to make an alteration of sorts, don't make the alteration. Do what Spirit said to do. And I'm talking to myself because there's something that I'm going to do soon, not publicly, but something private. But and I was like, well, maybe if I did this, and it's like, no, no, follow the plans as according, follow the plans as instructed. So it's like, okay, I got to do, I have to do what I have to do. And I'm going to do it the right way, but I'm still going to do what I have to do. So the scripture, because I do have a scripture tonight, it is in Genesis 26. Genesis 26. And I will, first of all, this is not new to me. For, God kept me in this chapter. That's all I'm going to say for many years ago. So coming back, it's like, again, you're sending me back. But it's a no time word. Oh, yes, it is. All right. So Genesis 26, starting at verse 3, and it reads, oh, and to give you um, a background, this is when Abram was asked to leave his family and go to a new city that the Lord will show him. So it says, starting at verse 3, stay in this land for a while, that waiting period, and I will be with you and bless you. So when God says to go get out of your comfort zone, I'm going to be with you and I'm going to bless you in your comfort zone, believe Him. Because He said, I will be with you and will bless you. Then the next line says, for to you and your descendants, I will give all these lands and will confirm the oath I swore to your father, Abraham. I said, I'm sorry, I do need to go back because I did say Abraham. Um, God did have me in that one when Abraham and, you know, uh, Rebecca was always, but now I'm in Isaac. So it's a step up. Okay. So I do have to correct myself, and I don't mind correcting myself in front of people. But anyway, going back. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands and will confirm the oath I swore to your father, Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and will give them all these lands, and through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. Verse 5, because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commands, my decrees, and my instructions. Again, verse 5, because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required of him, keeping my commands, my decrees, and my instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. And it's important to know that Isaac, the son of Abraham, is literally mirroring his father because what in two ways. So Abraham was instructed to count upon the sand, the grains of sand, and he said that this is how far your offspring will be. He is now telling his son to look at the stars because that if you count the stars, that's how big your lineage will be, your descendants shall be. And now he's also telling him um, to not go to Egypt. So first, he sent his father to Egypt, and it's important to know because he was with the pharaohs, and the pharaohs looked upon his wife, and he saw that she was pleasant of the eye. Now, this again, I'm talking about Abraham. And because she was pleasant of the eye, he lied and said, this is my sister. This isn't my wife. So now you find that Isaac too is now saying, do not go to Egypt. And you see that in verse 2. But he tells him to go to the Philistines. And if you all know the back history of the Philistines and the people of God have often clashed. It's almost as if God is telling you to go to the worst part of town to live. Well, the worst part of town for you to live. And he's like, what? But I could do better in Egypt because I got peoples in Egypt. I know somebody in Egypt. And God's like, don't go to Egypt. Don't go to where it's safe. Don't go to where it's comfortable. Go to where I'm sending you because you're going to be blessed there. And because you're going to be blessed, um, um, you have nothing to worry about. I'm going to be with you and you're going to be blessed. Do. Oh, and your descendants will be blessed. That's the part I was looking for. That's why I stopped. Because he's telling him right now that your descendants are going to be blessed. And I'm highlighting that for a reason. And then he said, I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and will give them all these lands. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed. Meaning, not only am I going to provide you with so much land and prosperous things, but I'm going to allow that generational wealth that you accumulate to bless other people, right? So some of you, that's where God has you right now. God is telling you to do something to get out of your comfort zone and to know that he will be with you and will bless you no matter where you go, no matter what it is he instructs you to do, and to let you know that it's going to create generational wealth, not only for you in this present time, but for the generations that come after you. So I know somebody needs to hear this. So go ahead and do that thing that God's telling you to do. And because it's going to bless other people. Again, I often say on this channel that we each have assignments, and until we get into place and do what we're supposed to do, those other people are waiting for us. We are holding up somebody else's blessing. So Isaac stayed in Gerar, and this is verse 7. When the men of that place asked him about his wife, he said, "She is my sister," because he was afraid to say, "She is my wife." He thought the men of this place might kill me on account of Rebecca because she is beautiful. So, in an instance, from verses 3 to 6, God just told Isaac that I'm going to bless you. I want you to go to Gerar. I want you to stay in Gerar. I'm going to be with you in Gerar. I'm going to bless you in Gerar. And I'm going to bless you so much so in Gerar that I'm going to give you extensive amounts of land in Gerar. And I'm going to bless you so much that you will be able to live off the wealth in Gerar. And I'm going to bless your descendants in Gerar. Because of Gerar. No matter where they go, I'm going to bless them because of how you position yourself in Gerar. And so much so that your descendants are going to bless the entire world because of your obedience in Gerar. And in verse 7, you see that now Isaac is afraid and is trying to alter the experience by telling these men that Rebecca is not his wife, but his sister, because he was afraid. And I'm gonna go down a little bit further, but that was my main point. But God just told you that He's going to do all these blessings and descendants with your current wife, Rebecca. But yet you're going to tell these these men that she's your sister, so they don't kill you, which means that the descendants that God spoke of, you it just went. You heard it, but you didn't hear it, or you heard it, but you didn't receive it. Because how can you have descendants with your current wife if you believe that these men were going to kill you if you told them the truth? And so, what he has now done is he has altered or attempting to alter the experience and say that. And before I get down to the rest, um, say that these men took Rebecca as their wife and had children. And I'm saying, like, let's take God out of the equation. Let's say that God allows this thing to happen. So now all the scriptures that we have pertaining to Isaac and Rebekah and the 12 tribes of Judah, would it have existed had God allowed Rebekah to be removed from Isaac? No. There would have been an alteration in history. However, comma, as my friend Kenya would say, God had plans all the way now that we don't, that's still unfolding, that He planned since the beginning, right? And so God already knew that this would happen, but He also knew that it was between Isaac and Rebekah's lineage that we will have Jesus the Christ. So I'm going to read the rest of the verses. When this is verse 8. When Isaac had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked down from a window and saw Isaac caressing his wife, Rebekah. So Abimelech summoned Isaac and said, "She is really your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" Isaac answered him, because I thought I might lose my life on account of her. Then Abimelech said, what is this you have done to us? One of the men might well have slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. So Abimelech gave orders to all the people, anyone who harms this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. So the other part of altering your experience that God is taking you through is when you make these alterations. What you're doing is you're bringing a curse upon the other party who is oblivious as to what your instructions were. Oblivious. So that's why this is coming up in my head, and because I've heard this for several months now, and now God is revealing the pieces. Um, so let's say that you're on a job and God asks you to leave the job, and you just like, what? God, I got to make some money. Listen, you talking about these six? You talking about these 8, 9, 10 figure job? You want me to leave this job? Just leave? God's like, yeah, I got something for you. I want you to go. I want you to put in your notice. God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And because you say, okay, well, I'm gonna push it off to like 3 months later, because then I can save up for this move. And God's like, no, I need you to move now. Time is ticking. Time keep on ticking, ticking, ticking. And you not moving. So God is like, I need you to go. And so because you don't move immediately, let's just say you're like a weekend after God told you to move. Then all of a sudden, your job is just like, oh, well, you know what? We're having some troubles, some financial troubles. And so, upper management is talking about releasing some people. We're gonna have to release a bunch of workers because we're just gonna have to let them go because we don't have the finances no more. You brought that curse onto that job. You're the reason why this company is going, I'm not even going to say bankrupt, but you're the reason why the finances are not going well, because God is trying to push you out the door. And if God can shake you again, He's going to use these people to shake you again. And then they'll tell you, oh, well, you don't have to worry because they're going to start off at the low bar. And you're like, okay. But it's God's other one and telling you, like, hey, time to jump ship, time to go. And so when you leave, the finances will magically, as they say, um, magically reappear, not knowing that it was being held up because you were being disobedient. Then the flip side of it is, if say you don't move and they release the first set of people, you're like, oh, I'm good. I got 3 extra weeks in at the job, and God, I haven't forgot what you said. You told me to move, but again, I'm gonna bank up what I can and move, move, move. God is like, no, I need you to move. And so, because of your disobedience again, and you're trying to alter your experience, the experience that God is trying to give you, they're saying, oh, well, we're gonna have to let some more people go. Um, and you're on the chopping block. You're 3 weeks. In 3 weeks you have to leave. So now you're at a month. Let's see, you're 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. You'll be about like a month and 2 weeks after God has told you to leave before you really have to leave at this point. And so now you're starting to get anxiety and trying to figure out, okay, well, God, you told me to leave, but oh my God, what am I going to do? I got these bills, I got this, I got that. How am I going to take care of myself? And God's like, I told you to leave 3 weeks ago. Because, no matter where you go, I'm going to be with you. No matter where you go, I'm going to provide for you. So I'm trying to figure out why you trying to act like you don't have resources. I'm trying to help me understand how I made a whole earth and provided natural resources for people. And when I put Adam and Eve on this earth, all they had was the earth, and I took care of them. So help me understand, if this is the same earth that they walked on, how you would not be taken care of, how I would not provide for you the same way I provided for them. Yes, they don't have the technologies that you have today, but I am the same God that will provide for you. I am the same God that will make sure that you're good when nobody else will make sure that you're good. I weighed manna fall from heaven. I have fed people from the ravens. I have given shade to to my prophets and my son when they needed it. I have always provided that thing that my people needed in the time of their need. What makes you now think that I will not do this for you? So stop altering or trying to attempt to alter the experience that God really wants you to have. When God is saying, when you leave, you will have so much freedom. And I am a God of freedom. I am the God of release. I am the God of joy and happiness. And when you can release these things, when you could open up your hands and let go of these things that is keeping you from me, you now have an open hand to receive the blessings that I'm trying to give you in this season. And now you can live that prosperous life. You're worried about an 8, 9, and 10 figure, baby. I'm trying to give you, uh, you know, 12 figures. I'm trying to give you 12 zeros behind that check. And it's all because of the ideas and the gifts that I give to you. It's because of the thing that I placed inside of you. And so, whereas you're trying to figure things out, I already have it out. I just need you to follow the steps. It's like God already has the 12-step plan. And you know how the people say, we see this all the time in the pyramid scheme businesses. They say, well, if you follow these steps, just like I did it, you will get to where you need to be. If you do it exactly like we said, you're going to get it. It doesn't fail. And God is saying, all you got to do is follow these steps. We have a whole song that says, order my steps in your word, dear Lord. Lead me, guide me every day. And the Lord is like, I'm trying to lead you and guide you every day with and without using my word. But clearly, you want to do your own thing. You want to alter what I'm giving you and telling you to do. And so now you find yourself in situations that you didn't need to be in because you have altered your experience, not me. You have gone down the wrong road, not me. I'm still waiting on you to come around the corner like I told you 3 months ago. And you still sitting there as if I hadn't said anything. Make it make sense, people. So I don't want to say this is, well, it's a warning for some people because this message right here is for you to wake you, to shake you up and wake you up, to let you know that, sis, bro, hey, it's time for you to get out your comfort zone and do what God has told you to do. I don't care how scary it looks. I don't care if it's unfamiliar territory. Do it anyway. God's not gonna let you fly down like that. He's no, 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 no. He's not. You know what? I literally just, as I was saying that, I saw and I heard these things. I'm trying to figure out which one to say first because it was two things that simultaneously at the same time. God is not going to allow you to fly alone and let you fly solo. Why, you ask? Because he's the wind beneath your wings. So, as a bird is flying solo or appears to fly solo, God is the very wind that is carrying this bird through. God is the very wind that is pushing up the wings as the bird is flying. And so it's like, as you are working through, as you are flying through this season, just know that I am pushing you. I am giving you that extra exertion of energy beneath your wings to keep you in the sky, to keep you going to where you need to go. Because imagine if there was no air, the birds couldn't fly. The air, the birds literally utilizes the wind through their feathers. Their feathers guide through the wind. It's the same as how the fish use their fins to push through the water. That's what the birds do with the air. And so God is saying, I am the spirit that lives within the air that is pushing you and taking you and carrying you to where you need to be. So as those birds, after they finish flying for a while, they glide. And God is saying, after you've done a little work for a while, when you release those things I've told you to release, and when you rest, I'm taking care of you, baby. I'm allowing you to glide. Just imagine this is the bird flying. God is like, I'm the air. This is the bird. Hold on. Maybe I should do it this way. Yeah, this is the bird. And this is the air. I'm carrying you to where you need to be. I'm carrying you. And then when you can't do no more, when it's time for you to rest, I'm still carrying you to where you need to be. So I hope this has blessed you on tonight. It surely has blessed me. I I got a good word on tonight myself. But I did want to share this word with you because it's time for us to stop altering our experiences. We alter the experience before we even take the experience. And that's the thing. We alter it before we begin. It's like we buy a bus ticket and say, oh, but before I get on this bus, I'm gonna make sure that I put plastic on the seat. Okay, but no, but you doing too much. You're being extra for no reason. If God ain't tell you to do all that, why would you do that? If the bus driver ain't tell you to do that, why would you do that? You now being excessive for no reason, and you're bringing things that don't need to be brought. You're thinking about things that don't need to be thought about. You're bringing fears and anxiousness to a plan that's already settled and already written out. A perfect plan, mind you. Because if God planned it, it's a perfected work and a work that will perfect you. Now, I'm not saying that people are going to be perfect, but there are perfect works in people. So I'm going to say that and I'm going to end it there. But you all be blessed. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, be blessed.